Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video, we're going to explore something really interesting and exciting. So, if you want to find out what you'll learn by staying with us till the end, make sure to watch the whole video. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. In 1960, the United States minted a dime that would eventually become much more than just a coin in circulation. It would transcend its purpose of commerce and become a cherished collector's item, admired by numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. But, like many objects that eventually gain fame, the story of the 1960 dime began as just another coin entering the hands of everyday Americans. Little did they know that this small, 10-cent piece would carry with it a tale of design, minting intricacies, and, most remarkably, an impressive value that would leave coin collectors astonished decades later. The dime itself, at first glance, might seem unassuming. At 17.9 millimeters in diameter, it's one of the smaller coins in the U.S. currency system. Yet, like many iconic coins, its significance isn't measured by its size but by the story and history it carries. This coin represents a time when the U.S. was on the brink of monumental changes in both its social landscape and in the ways in which coins were produced. To understand the allure of the 1960 dime, we have to first examine the historical context of the time. The United States was in the midst of the Cold War, a period of intense political tension between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. The 1960s marked a decade of dramatic shifts, not only in politics but in cultural movements, technological advancements, and economic transformations. The U.S. economy was growing, yet the country was also facing inflation, which would eventually result in changes to the way the U.S. Mint produced its coins. It was against this backdrop that the 1960 dime came into being. But what was it about this particular coin that would later make it so valuable? The first clue lies in its design. The dime, like other denominations, bore the image of a well-known historical figure, the First Lady of the United States, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt had passed away in 1945, but his legacy was immortalized in the coinage designed by artist John R. Sinek. Sinek's design was based on a portrait of Roosevelt that captured his dignified, determined face, which had become synonymous with his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II. This was the coin's primary design, but it was far from the only detail that collectors would come to focus on. The reverse side of the 1960 dime featured the familiar olive branch, torch, and oak branch, symbols of peace, liberty, and strength. This design was chosen not just for its representation of American values but also because it gave a sense of unity and perseverance, ideals that were integral to the 1960s American spirit. But while the design itself had been in place for years, it was the minting process of 1960 that would give this particular coin its eventual rise in value. The 1960 dime was minted at several U.S. mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, a subtle but significant difference between the coins produced in these different locations would later turn out to be a defining feature of the coin's worth. At the time, the minting process was slightly altered to produce coins with different characteristics, especially in terms of the type of strike used. A specific error in the 1960 dime made by the Philadelphia Mint would later become the focal point of a numismatic frenzy, the famous small date variety. The small date dimes were the product of a shift in the minting process, where the date on the coin appeared smaller due to the use of new dies. This wasn't initially recognized as a significant difference, but it would soon catch the attention of collectors. The small date dimes were a rarity, and as time passed, they began to disappear from circulation, making them increasingly sought after. But the story of the 1960 dime doesn't end with its initial production. Over the years, as coin collectors became more adept at distinguishing between subtle differences in minting, the value of the small date dime began to rise. The appeal of the coin was not only due to the rarity of the small date variety but also because of the intricate history it carried with it, reflecting a time of political and social upheaval in the United States. In the world of coin collecting, a dime is often overlooked in favor of larger denominations like the penny or the quarter. But for those in the know, the 1960 dime has long been a coveted prize. As time went on, numismatists honed in on the unique characteristics of the 1960 dime, specifically focusing on the small date variant that had been so difficult to find in everyday circulation. As the years passed, the dimes from the 1960s became rare treasures that collectors eagerly sought after. In fact, the 1960 small date dime's allure would only increase as the decades went on. For coin collectors, the coin was more than just a piece of currency, it was a reminder of a past era, a testament to American resilience and history. Over the years, the coin grew in value as more people realized just how special it was. And then, as often happens in the world of rare collectibles, the price began to surge. The first hint of the dime's value came when collectors started paying attention to the increasing demand for the small date variety. In the early 21st century, as the world of numismatics expanded and online auction platforms gave collectors access to a global marketplace, the 1960 small date dime began to climb in value. A coin that once might have been worth just a few dollars skyrocketed into the realm of serious investment. The rarest of the rare specimens, those in mint condition or with pristine qualities, began to fetch staggering sums, and now, the moment you've been waiting for: just how much can a 1960 dime be worth today? If you happen to find a 1960 small date dime in excellent condition, you could be looking at a value of up to $145,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single dime, one of the smallest and most common coins in circulation, could fetch a price that rivals even the most prized of rare coins. This value isn't just about the coin's rarity, it's about the story it tells. It's a reminder of a time when coins were more than just tools for commerce, they were symbols of a nation's strength, a reflection of its history, and a glimpse into its future. A 1960 small date dime holds within it a tale of design, minting, rarity, and a growing fascination with numismatics. It's an object that bridges generations, connecting the past with the present, and as such, its value continues to climb. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone intrigued by the world of rare collectibles, the 1960 small date dime serves as a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are the ones that seem the most ordinary at first glance. So, the next time you find yourself with a pocket full of dimes, take a moment to examine them closely. Who knows? You might just have a 1960 small date dime in your hands, and if you're lucky, it could be worth a fortune. As this story unfolds, the world of coin collecting continues to grow, and who knows what future treasures might be hidden in plain sight. The 1960 dime is a testament to the ever-evolving nature of collecting, and a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things can make the biggest impact. So, keep an eye out, and never underestimate the power of a coin, especially one with a rich history and an impressive legacy. In the early 1980s, the United States was experiencing a dynamic period of change. The country was emerging from the turbulence of the 1970s, a decade marked by economic challenges, political upheaval, and global tensions. The 1982 US dime, a coin that many considered a mere 10-cent piece, would go on to become a surprising player in the world of numismatics, a coin that would be revered not for its everyday utility but for its rarity and uniqueness in the years to come. At first glance, the 1982 dime may seem like any other coin. It's small, just 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and weighs a mere 2.27 grams, light as a feather compared to other coins. But the story behind this particular dime, especially the 1982 variety, is filled with twists, turns, and a bit of serendipity. What makes this particular coin so significant isn't its size or even its design, but the nuances of its production process that would make it an object of desire for coin collectors everywhere. To understand why the 1982 dime is so coveted, we must first look at the historical context of its creation. The United States in 1982 was transitioning into a new era, both economically and politically. The country was recovering from a recession, with inflation rates that had been sky-high throughout much of the 1970s. President Ronald Reagan had just taken office, bringing with him a wave of conservative economic policies that would eventually lead to significant changes in the financial landscape. The 1980s would be a decade marked by the rise of the stock market, a boom in consumer spending, and significant technological innovations that would shape the future of America. Yet, during this time, the U.S. Mint continued to produce everyday coins for circulation, including the humble dime. What made the 1982 dime interesting, however, was a relatively minor but impactful change in its composition. This small change in the coin's production process would go on to make it one of the most famous and highly sought-after coins in American history. In 1982, the U.S. Mint began transitioning from using a predominantly silver composition in its coins to using a copper-plated zinc composition. This shift in metal content was a direct result of rising silver prices, which made it increasingly expensive to produce coins that contained a high percentage of silver. By 1982, the cost of silver had risen sharply, and it was no longer economical to continue minting coins that contained the precious metal. As a result, the mint made the decision to move away from using silver in most of its coins, including the dime. The change in composition was not immediately obvious to the casual observer. The coins still looked like dimes, and the visual design remained unchanged. The iconic image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek, still graced the obverse side of the coin, while the reverse side featured the familiar torch, olive branch, and oak branch, the symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. However, the subtle difference in composition would later prove to be a game-changer in the world of coin collecting. The 1982 dime is known for being the first year in which the U.S. Mint began producing dimes that were made of a copper and zinc alloy. The transition was not without its issues, though. The Mint had made some adjustments in the production process, and as a result, there were a few notable variations in the 1982 dime's appearance and characteristics. One of the most significant of these variations was the difference between the dimes minted before and after the composition change. Initially, the 1982 dime was made with a copper-silver mix, much like the dimes of previous years. These were known as transition dimes. However, by mid-1982, the Mint had fully switched to the copper-plated zinc composition for all dimes. This meant that there were two distinct types of 1982 dimes, one that was made of a composition closer to the old, pre-1982 dimes, and the other that was part of the new composition. While these differences may seem subtle, they were significant enough to attract the attention of collectors. Coin enthusiasts, especially those who focused on minting errors and variations, immediately began to notice these anomalies. They realized that the transition dimes, particularly those with a composition closer to the older coins, were far rarer than the rest of the dimes produced in 1982. What made these transition dimes so special was not just their rarity but their connection to a moment in time when a significant shift in U.S. coinage occurred. The production of these coins was a short-lived experiment, an effort to move away from the costly practice of using silver, which had been the standard for dimes for much of U.S. history. And because the transition was so brief, the number of transition dimes that were minted in the early months of 1982 is relatively low. As a result, they became a prime target for collectors looking for rare and valuable coins from this pivotal year. The appeal of the 1982 dime grew over time. As coin collectors became more aware of the subtle differences between the two types of 1982 dimes, the value of the rare transition coins began to climb. Initially, these coins were sold for relatively modest amounts, but as demand for rarer coins surged and the internet allowed collectors to more easily share information and auction their finds, the value of the 1982 transition dime skyrocketed. But the true magic of this coin lies not only in its rarity but also in its connection to the broader story of U.S. coinage. In 1982, the Mint was at a crossroads, trying to balance the financial realities of minting with the need to continue producing the coins that were essential to the country's economy. The decision to switch the composition of the dime, along with other coins, was a reflection of these changing times, and the 1982 transition dimes became a tangible symbol of this shift. As the decades passed, the 1982 transition dimes became increasingly difficult to find, especially those in pristine condition. Mint errors and slight variations in the coin's characteristics only added to their appeal, making them even more desirable to collectors. The number of 1,982 transition dimes in circulation dwindled, and those that remained became prized treasures in the world of numismatics. So, what is the value of a 1982 US dime today? It might surprise you to learn that some of the rarest and most well-preserved 1982 transition dimes can now fetch an impressive price. In fact, a mint-condition 1982 transition dime can be worth up to $124,000. That's right, this small, unassuming coin, which at one point was worth just 10 cents, can now be worth more than $100,000. This high value is not just the result of rarity but also the coin's significance in the broader context of U.S. coinage history. The 1982 dime represents a turning point in U.S. coin production. It stands as a reminder of the challenges faced by the mint during a time of economic transition and the foresight needed to adapt to new financial realities. For collectors, it's more than just a coin. It's a snapshot of an era in American history and a tangible connection to the ever-evolving world of currency. If you happen to come across a 1982 dime, take a moment to appreciate its history and potential value. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting to explore the world of rare coins, the 1982 dime offers a fascinating glimpse into the past and could potentially become the centerpiece of your collection. The journey from a simple 10-cent coin to a $124,000 treasure is a testament to the enduring appeal of numismatics and the rich history embedded in every piece of currency. So, the next time you handle a dime, remember that even the smallest coin can have the biggest story. In 1998, the United States minted a coin that would go on to captivate the hearts of collectors and coin enthusiasts alike. At first glance, the 1998 US dime might seem like any other coin in circulation, a simple 10-cent piece, small in size but essential in daily transactions. However, as we delve deeper into the history and details surrounding this particular coin, it becomes clear that the 1998 dime carries with it more than just the usual amount of history. It holds the key to a story of rarity, craftsmanship, and value that would eventually make it one of the most sought-after coins of its time. To understand why the 1998 dime stands out, we must first consider the context in which it was minted. The United States, in the late 1990s, was experiencing an era of prosperity. The economy was booming, unemployment was low, and technological advancements were taking off. The dot-com bubble was at its peak, and the world was rapidly becoming more interconnected through the internet. President Bill Clinton was in office, overseeing a period of relative peace and economic growth. It was a time of optimism and forward-looking ideals, and this positive spirit was reflected in the mint's production of everyday coins like the dime. Yet, in the midst of this prosperity, a shift was happening within the U.S. Mint. The 1998 dime, like many other coins before it, was designed to carry forward the legacy of past U.S. coinage. At the same time, however, it was part of a broader effort to create coins that reflected the current moment in American history. This balance between tradition and innovation would shape the 1998 dime into something far more than just a piece of currency. It would, in time, become a prized possession for collectors, a coin that, at first glance, seemed ordinary but upon closer inspection revealed a unique set of characteristics that set it apart from the thousands of other dimes minted that year. The design of the 1998 dime is instantly recognizable to most people, as it follows the same basic pattern that has been in place since 1946. On the obverse, we see the iconic image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by artist John R. Sinek. Roosevelt, who served as the 32nd President of the United States, became a symbol of resilience and hope during his time in office, particularly during the Great Depression and World War II. The decision to feature Roosevelt's likeness on the dime was a fitting tribute to his leadership and his legacy. Sinek's portrait of Roosevelt, created in 1945, shows him in profile, with a dignified expression that conveys the strength of his character. On the reverse of the 1998 dime, we find the familiar symbols of liberty, peace, and strength: a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. These symbols have been part of the dime's design since 1946 and represent core American values. The torch symbolizes freedom and the fight for liberty, the olive branch represents peace, and the oak branch is a symbol of strength and endurance. The reverse design is a timeless reflection of these values, reminding citizens of the ideals that the United States was built upon. While the 1998 dime follows the same basic design as previous dimes, the production details of the coin are what make it truly interesting. The U.S. Mint produced dimes in 1998 at its primary minting facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The dimes produced at these facilities were primarily intended for circulation, meaning that millions of them were minted and distributed across the country. However, what collectors were particularly drawn to were the subtle differences that could be found in some of the dimes, which would make them more rare and valuable over time. In 1998, a relatively minor but crucial change took place in the minting process. The coin was minted with a mix of copper and nickel, the same metal composition that had been used since the 1960s. However, the way in which the metal was struck and the specific dyes used to produce the dimes in 1998 gave rise to certain subtle variations. These variations, often imperceptible to the average person, would eventually make some of the 1998 dimes much more sought after than others. One of the key factors that contributed to the coin's collector appeal was the presence of certain minting errors and irregularities. For example, some 1998 dimes were struck with uneven pressure, leading to slightly misaligned designs or other small imperfections that made them stand out from the rest. While these errors might seem insignificant to the casual observer, they were highly valued by collectors who knew what to look for. For numismatists, the presence of such errors meant that the coin was rare and had the potential to appreciate in value over time. As with most rare coins, the condition of the 1998 dime played a major role in determining its value. The highest quality specimens, particularly those in uncirculated or proof condition, were especially desirable to collectors. Coins that were well preserved and showed little to no signs of wear and tear could command much higher prices than those in average or poor condition. The more pristine the coin, the higher its potential value, but what truly sets the 1998 dime apart from other coins minted in the same year is its connection to a moment in history. As the U.S. Mint was producing millions of dimes in 1998, few people could have predicted that this particular year would give birth to one of the most valuable coins in the history of modern U.S. minting. The rarity of certain 1998 dimes, combined with the collector demand for such unique items, led to an eventual surge in the coin's value. In the years following its release, the 1998 dime began to attract the attention of serious collectors. The market for rare coins had been growing steadily, driven by an increasing interest in numismatics and a rising demand for coins with historical significance. As word spread about the rare variations of the 1998 dime, more and more collectors sought out these coins to add to their collections. Auction houses began to feature these dimes in their listings, and prices began to rise. Today, the value of a 1998 dime, particularly one that is in excellent condition or has a unique minting error, can be astonishing. While most of the dimes produced in 1998 are still worth their face value of 10 cents, the rarer specimens can be worth significantly more. The most valuable 1998 dimes can fetch as much as $115,000 in today's market. That's right, a dime that was originally worth just 10 cents can now command a price that is 1,150,000 times its face value. This remarkable increase in value is a testament to the rarity and desirability of the coin, as well as the growing interest in collecting coins that have a unique history and special characteristics. So, how does a 1998 dime achieve such an impressive value? The combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors has made this coin highly sought after by collectors. It's not just about having a 1998 dime, it's about finding the right one. For those who are fortunate enough to own one of these rare dimes, it can be a source of pride and a valuable asset. For those who are still on the hunt, the 1998 dime represents an opportunity to discover a hidden gem, a piece of American history that can potentially change their financial future. As the world of coin collecting continues to grow and evolve, coins like the 1998 dime serve as a reminder that even the most ordinary of objects can hold immense value. What was once a simple, everyday piece of currency has now become a rare and prized collectible. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just beginning to explore the fascinating world of coins, the 1998 dime offers a glimpse into the unpredictable nature of coin collecting, where rarity, history, and the right conditions can turn a humble dime into a treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, the next time you find yourself with a pocket full of dimes, take a moment to examine them carefully. You just might be holding a piece of American history that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And remember, in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest coins can sometimes yield the biggest rewards. In the year 1999, the United States was on the brink of a new millennium, a time of immense cultural, technological, and social change. The country was at the height of the so-called dot-com boom. The internet was rapidly transforming the way people communicated and conducted business, and a sense of optimism about the future permeated the atmosphere. In this context, the U.S. Mint was continuing its efforts to produce the coins that were essential to the country's economy, including the one dime piece that would eventually become a treasure for coin collectors around the world, the 1999 U.S. dime. At first glance, the 1999 dime may appear to be just another standard issue of the coin that has been in circulation since 1796. After all, the dime, in its modern form, is often viewed as one of the more unremarkable coins in circulation. It's small, relatively lightweight, and its value has remained the same for decades, just 10 cents. However, as with many coins that attract collectors' interest, the story of the 1999 dime is far more complex than its simple face value suggests. Behind the mundane appearance of this coin lies a fascinating tale of change, precision, and rarity that would eventually catapult it into the realm of numismatic superstardom. The year 1999 marked the end of a century, a time when people reflected on the past while eagerly anticipating the future. For many, the decade of the 1990s had been a time of prosperity. Under the leadership of President Bill Clinton, the country had seen economic growth, a booming stock market, and an overall sense of national pride. The technological revolution was in full swing, with the rise of personal computers, mobile phones, and the early days of the internet fundamentally changing the way people lived and worked. Despite these broader developments, the U.S. Mint was focused on one key goal: producing reliable and consistent coinage to meet the needs of the American public. In 1999, the Mint continued to mint the dime with its long-standing design, featuring the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse. This design, created by artist John R. Sinek, had been in place since 1946, following Roosevelt's death. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, was a towering figure in American history. Known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, Roosevelt was widely respected for his vision, compassion, and unyielding resolve. His likeness, as immortalized by Sinek's design, has adorned the dime ever since, making it one of the most instantly recognizable coins in the world. On the reverse side of the 1999 dime, we see the familiar symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. These symbols, depicted as a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, have been featured on the reverse of the dime since 1946 as well. Together, these elements symbolize the values that the United States stands for: freedom, harmony, and endurance. The design, though simple, is elegant in its representation of core American ideals. While the 1999 dime followed the same design conventions as previous years, it was still part of a broader context in which the U.S. Mint was dealing with changes in its coin production processes. The year 1999 was significant in terms of both the mint's ongoing commitment to the production of high-quality coins and the attention that would eventually be paid to certain rare and exceptional dimes that were minted that year. Unlike some earlier years in which noticeable changes were made to the coin's composition or design, the 1999 dime was primarily noted for the high level of quality control and consistency in its production. However, despite the efforts of the mint to produce dimes that were virtually identical, a few small, subtle variations would eventually emerge in some of the 1999 coins. As with any large-scale minting process, slight imperfections and variations in the striking of coins are inevitable. But when those variations result in a coin that deviates from the norm in some significant way, those coins can become highly prized by collectors and numismatists. The 1999 dime was no exception, and over the years, several examples have emerged that stand out due to minting errors, die variations, and other anomalies that make them especially valuable to collectors. One of the most notable factors that led to the rise in value of certain 1999 dimes was the presence of rare die variations. Die variations are subtle differences in the appearance of a coin that occur due to changes in the dies used to strike the coins. These variations can result in slight differences in the size, shape, or alignment of the design elements on the coin. In some cases, these die variations can create coins with significant visual anomalies, such as a doubled die or misaligned strike, that make them highly valuable in the eyes of collectors. For the 1999 dime, these die variations are part of what makes the coin so appealing to the numismatic community. One of the most famous types of die errors found in 1999 dimes is the off-center strike, where the design appears slightly misaligned or shifted on the coin. This occurs when the coin is not centered correctly in the striking press, leading to an uneven distribution of the design on the surface of the coin. While this error might seem like a flaw, it is precisely these types of imperfections that make the coin rarer and more sought after. Coins with off-center strikes are more likely to be overlooked by the general public, but for collectors, these errors are a badge of rarity and uniqueness. A 1999 dime with an off-center strike can fetch a significant premium over the regular, non-error coins. In addition to die errors, another factor that contributes to the value of the 1999 dime is its overall condition. As with any coin, the condition in which a coin is found plays a major role in determining its value. Coins that are well preserved, free from scratches, dents, and discoloration, and that maintain their original luster, are always more valuable than coins that are heavily worn or damaged. Many of the 1999 dimes produced for circulation were subject to significant wear and tear as they passed through the hands of the public. However, coins that were carefully stored or have been kept in pristine condition are much rarer and thus far more valuable. Of course, as with any collectible item, the value of a coin like the 1999 dime is also influenced by demand. In the world of coin collecting, some coins are more desirable than others due to their rarity, uniqueness, and connection to important moments in history. For the 1999 dime, the rarity of certain minting errors, combined with the growing interest in modern U.S. coins, has led to an increase in demand for high-quality examples of this coin. As the years have gone by, the value of the 1999 dime has continued to rise, particularly for those dimes that exhibit rare minting errors or are in exceptional condition. Today, a well-preserved 1999 dime, especially one with a notable minting error, can fetch up to $110,000 at auction. This is a staggering increase from its original face value of just 10 cents, and it serves as a reminder of how the world of numismatics can transform even the most unassuming of coins into a valuable and coveted treasure. For those who are fortunate enough to own a 1999 dime with a significant minting error or one that is in pristine condition, the coin is not just a symbol of American history, it is also a financial asset that can be passed down for generations. Even for those who may not have a 1999 dime in their collection, the growing interest in this coin offers an exciting opportunity to learn about the world of coin collecting and discover the intricate details that make certain coins so valuable. The 1999 dime represents more than just a change in the design or production process of U.S. currency. It is a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting and the stories that lie hidden within seemingly ordinary pieces of currency. What may have once been just another dime in circulation is now a rare and valuable piece of American history, one that continues to captivate collectors and enthusiasts alike. So, if you come across a 1999 dime, take a closer look. It might be worth far more than you initially thought. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or simply curious about the world of numismatics, the 1999 dime is a fascinating example of how rarity, historical significance, and a bit of luck can turn an everyday coin into something extraordinary. In the world of coin collecting, it's not always about the size or the value of the coin, it's about the story it tells and the journey it takes to uncover its hidden worth. In 2014, the U.S. Mint released a coin that would not only become a part of everyday transactions but also find its way into the hearts of collectors around the world. On the surface, the 2014 US 1 dime coin might appear to be just another 10-cent piece, small in size, lightweight, and seemingly insignificant in the grand scheme of things. However, as with many coins that carry historical significance, a deeper dive into the details reveals that the 2014 dime holds far more than just monetary value. The year 2014 marked a number of significant milestones in American history and culture. The nation was recovering from the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, and the economy was gradually rebounding. The U.S. government was working to address issues such as unemployment, healthcare reform, and income inequality. In the world of technology, the rise of smartphones, social media, and digital communication was transforming the way Americans interacted with one another. It was a year that bridged the gap between the past and the future, and in this context, the U.S. Mint continued its mission to produce coins that would represent the American people and their values. The 2014 dime, like the ones before it, was struck in copper-nickel and featured the same classic design that had been in place since 1946. On the obverse, we find the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's likeness, created by artist John R. Sinek, has graced the dime since shortly after his death in 1945, a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's face, as captured in the portrait, exudes dignity and strength, making it one of the most recognizable depictions of a U.S. president on any coin. On the reverse side of the 2014 dime, we see the familiar symbols that have represented liberty, peace, and strength for decades. A torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch stand as reminders of the core values of the United States. The torch, a symbol of freedom and the quest for liberty, is balanced by the olive branch, representing peace, and the oak branch, which stands for strength and endurance. These symbols, simple yet powerful, have been a mainstay of the dime's design since 1946 and serve as a reminder of the nation's founding principles. Although the design of the 2014 dime adhered to the long-standing tradition set forth by Sinek's design, the coin was minted with a unique set of circumstances and challenges that would set it apart from its predecessors. As always, the U.S. Mint was responsible for ensuring that coins were produced with a high level of consistency, quality, and precision. However, the process of mass-producing millions of dimes each year is inherently prone to variations. These subtle differences often go unnoticed by the general public but are highly prized by coin collectors and numismatists, who know that even the smallest of irregularities can have a profound impact on a coin's value. For the 2014 dime, the mint used the same metal composition as it had for many years, an alloy of copper and nickel. This composition was chosen not only for its durability but also for its ability to strike clear, detailed images on the surface of the coin. The 2014 dimes were minted in large quantities at the Mint's primary facilities, including those in Philadelphia, Denver, and West Point. However, while most of these dimes were intended for everyday circulation, certain rare examples emerged with small imperfections that would make them highly sought after in the years to come. One of the factors that contributed to the allure of the 2014 dime was the presence of minting errors. These errors, which are typically the result of issues with the coin dies or the striking process, can give a coin a unique appearance that sets it apart from others. For example, some 2014 dimes were struck with double dies, which means that certain design elements were imprinted more than once, creating a ghosting effect on the coin. This error is particularly appealing to collectors because it makes the coin look different from the standard issue, and its rarity adds to its value. In addition to the double die error, another type of minting flaw that was found in some 2014 dimes was the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the striking press, leading to a coin with the design off-center and sometimes even part of the design missing. While these errors might seem like defects, they are actually prized by coin collectors because they make the coin unique and significantly rarer than the average dime. Off-center strikes are often sold at a premium because of their scarcity and their ability to stand out in a collection. Beyond minting errors, the overall condition of the 2014 dime played a significant role in determining its value. Coins that are well preserved and show little to no signs of wear are far more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. The 2014 dimes that were carefully stored or kept in uncirculated condition were much rarer than those that had been spent, which makes them more desirable to collectors. Dimes that are in near-perfect condition, with no visible scratches, dents, or discoloration, can fetch prices much higher than their face value. The value of the 2014 dime has steadily increased over the years, particularly for those specimens that feature rare minting errors or are in pristine condition. While most 2014 dimes are still worth their face value of 10 cents, certain examples have become highly sought after in the numismatic community. Coins with unique features or flaws, such as double die errors or off-center strikes, have the potential to fetch significantly higher prices at auctions or from private buyers. In fact, well-preserved or error-filled 2014 dimes can now command prices of up to $92,000, a far cry from their original value of just 10 cents. The surge in value for the 2014 dime can be attributed to a variety of factors. First, the rarity of certain minting errors has made these coins highly desirable. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins that feature these kinds of flaws, as they are more difficult to find and offer a sense of uniqueness that regular coins do not. Additionally, the growing popularity of coin collecting as a hobby has increased demand for coins like the 2014 dime. As more and more people become interested in numismatics, the competition for rare coins has intensified, driving prices up. Moreover, the 2014 dime's appeal lies not only in its rarity in minting errors but also in its connection to a specific moment in history. The 2014 dime is part of the larger body of U.S. coins that tell the story of America, and as time goes on, certain years and designs become more significant to collectors. The 2014 dime, with its classic design and subtle variations, is a symbol of a period of transition in American life. It reflects a time when technology was rapidly changing the world and when economic and social issues were at the forefront of national discourse. For collectors, owning a 2014 dime is not just about owning a piece of currency, it's about owning a piece of history. Today, the 2014 US dime is far more than just a coin that circulated for a brief period. It has become a collector's item, prized for its rarity, unique features, and potential for future appreciation. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone new to the world of numismatics, the 2014 dime offers an exciting opportunity to delve into the fascinating world of coin collecting. It's a reminder that even the smallest, most seemingly ordinary objects can hold tremendous value, both in terms of their monetary worth and their place in history. If you're lucky enough to find a 2014 dime with a rare minting error or one in exceptional condition, you could be holding a coin worth far more than its face value. And as the world of coin collecting continues to grow, the 2014 dime will remain a shining example of how the world of currency and the world of collectors can intersect in surprising and rewarding ways. So, next time you come across a 2014 dime, take a moment to appreciate its design, its history, and its potential value. You never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight.